Well, look, I certainly think the green agenda has become a bit of a religion to some. Personally, I think a pragmatic approach when it comes to energy policy, prioritising industry, prioritising well-paid jobs in this country, and prioritising energy security and energy independence is the right way to go. If you look at an issue like fracking, for instance, I think we've made a massive mistake to continue with this ludicrous ban. But just to show the reality now of where we are, just look at what the National Grid are now saying. That they've issued a notification to warm 3 winter contingency coal units. The notification is not confirmation that these units will be used on Monday, but that they will be available. Their forecasts show electricity supply margins expected to be tighter than normal on Monday evening, and instructing coal-fired power units to be available. They're activating a live demand flexibility service between 5 and 6 p.m. Though they say this does not mean electricity supplies are at risk and people should not be worried. They said it's a precautionary measure to maintain the buffer of spare capacity they need. But what this actually means is that the National Grid effectively to pay households to use less electricity. As the Times report, there hundreds of thousands of households will be paid to use less electricity this evening. This emergency scheme to avoid blackouts expected to pay more than £1 million to households and businesses to reduce usage between 5 and 6 p.m. and instructing those 2 coal-fired power units at the Drax Power Station in North Yorkshire and 1 at West Burton, ready to generate in case they are needed. And I do think people have to be careful that the route we're going down with net zero doesn't leave us vulnerable. Policy and approach that brings down prices and actually focuses on energy security and energy independence surely is the one that makes most sense. But this shows you, I think, the position when you go down the net zero route that we're going down, the position that this country is now in. I think one of the MPs that actually speaks sense on this is the Conservative MP, Lee Anderson. He said there will always be a case for coal until we can supply all our energy needs on renewables. And this was him speaking today. Watch this and let me know if you agree with Lee Anderson and what you make of this energy situation we now find ourselves in.
Morning, it's Lee Anderson, Member of Parliament for Ashfield and Eastwood, here at a power station. I'm not going into the power station, I'm just catching the train from here this morning due to a bit of a mix-up, etc. But look, this power station is, I actually went here on a visit many moons ago when I was a coal miner. We went to see the place where we sent our coal to, and it was a brilliant trip, but I've been told, or read somewhere, that the use of coal here has increased over the past year or so, and they're going to extend the life of the power station as well, which proves that there is a need for fossil fuels still. Look, beggars can't be choosers. So I know I keep banging on about the use of coal, but you know, while we're going through a transition, while we're struggling to get cheap energy prices, I think it makes sense.